Ethan was moving into a new apartment building in a quiet part of the city. It was late at night, and he was tired after carrying boxes all day. The hallway was dimly lit, and he only wanted to get inside his room, drop his bags, and finally, rest. He didn't know the building well yet, and the doors all looked very similar. As he walked down the hall, he looked at the numbers on the doors, trying to find his own apartment, number 407. When he reached a door, he thought it was his, so he turned the handle and stepped inside without knocking. The room was dark, but strangely warm. Ethan expected to see his empty new apartment, but instead he found a woman sitting calmly on a chair. She looked strange but beautiful in a way he couldn't explain. Her eyes were bright and calm, but they didn't look completely human. Ethan froze, surprised and confused. He quickly said, "Sorry, wrong room," trying to leave as fast as possible. But the woman smiled gently, as if she was waiting for him. She said softly, "I know." Ethan stopped, unsure if he had heard her right. His heart was beating fast. He looked at her more carefully. She wore clothes that looked like they were made from shining, smooth material, and her skin had a slight glow. The room around her wasn't like any normal room. There were objects Ethan couldn't identify, glowing softly, and strange symbols on the walls. Who are you?" Ethan asked, trying to stay calm even though his voice shook a little. The woman stood up slowly and walked toward him. Her movement was smooth, almost like she was floating. "I am the alien queen," she said quietly. "And you were meant to find me." Ethan's eyes widened. He took a step back. "Alien? Queen? This must be a joke." The woman smiled again. "It is no joke. You came here for a reason. Your arrival was expected." Ethan didn't know what to say. Everything sounded so unreal, but something about her voice and the way she looked made him feel like she was telling the truth. Still, it was hard to believe. "Why me?" Ethan asked after a moment. "I'm just a normal guy." The alien queen's smile softened. "You are more than you realize. There is a story you do not remember, a connection you have forgotten." Ethan rubbed his forehead. His mind was spinning. How could he have forgotten something important? Maybe he was dreaming, or maybe he was tired and imagining things. "I think I should go," Ethan said, turning toward the door. The alien queen moved quickly and gently touched his arm. "Please wait. There is much to tell you, much you need to know." Ethan stopped again, feeling strange but curious. He didn't understand why, but he wanted to listen. The alien queen motioned for him to sit down, and Ethan slowly took a seat on a soft chair she pointed to. The room seemed to warm up even more, and the strange glowing objects gave off a peaceful light. "My name is Serena," she said. "I come from a distant world, far beyond your sky. Our worlds are connected in ways few understand. You, Ethan, are part of that connection." Ethan listened carefully but still felt confused. "I don't understand." "What connection?" Serena looked at him with kind eyes. "Long ago, a promise was made between our worlds. A promise that one day a human, like you, would help protect both our peoples." Ethan shook his head slowly. "That sounds like a story from a movie." Serena laughed softly. "Maybe it is, but it is true, and you are the one." Ethan looked down at his hands. "Why me? I don't have any special powers or anything." Serena smiled. "Not yet, but you will. Your memories were hidden for your protection until the right time came." Ethan felt a strange feeling inside, like a small spark lighting up in his chest. He wanted to believe her, but was still afraid. "Can you prove any of this?" he asked. Serena reached into a small glowing box and took out a smooth stone that shimmered with many colors. She placed it gently in Ethan's hand. The moment he touched it, Memories flooded his mind, images of strange places, stars, and a beautiful city in the sky. He saw flashes of himself as a young boy playing with a girl who looked just like Serena. Ethan gasped and dropped the stone, staring at it in shock. "What is this?" "That is a memory stone," Serena said. "It shows you what was hidden deep inside your mind." Ethan was speechless. He had never believed in anything like this before. Serena sat down next to him. "You don't need to understand everything right now. Just know that you are not alone, and you are important." Ethan looked up at her. For the first time, he felt calm. Maybe, just maybe, this strange night was the beginning of something new. The clock outside the door showed it was very late. Ethan knew he couldn't stay in the room forever, but he didn't want to leave either. Serena stood and said softly, "Rest now. Tomorrow we will talk more. Your journey is only beginning." Ethan nodded slowly and left the room, feeling like his life had changed forever. As he closed the door behind him, he looked back once and saw Serena's gentle smile through the window. He whispered to himself, "Wrong room." But maybe it was the right place after all. The next morning, Ethan woke up feeling strange. His mind was still full of the images from the memory stone. He wasn't sure if it was real or just a dream, but something inside him told him that the meeting with Serena, the alien queen, was very important. He got ready and decided to go back to the room where he had met her. When he arrived, the door was slightly open, just like the night before. He stepped inside carefully, and Serena was waiting for him. She smiled warmly, as if she had been expecting him. "Good morning, Ethan," she said softly. "Are you ready to learn more?" Ethan nodded, feeling both nervous and curious. "Yes, I want to understand who I really am and why you said you knew me." Serena walked over to a strange-looking machine in the corner of the room. It was glowing and softly humming. She pressed some buttons, and a holographic image appeared in the air. It showed stars, planets, and a large shining city in space. "This is my home," she said. "It is called Lyria, a world far away from Earth. Our people have lived peacefully for many years, but now danger is coming." Ethan watched the images, fascinated. The city was beautiful, with tall buildings that looked like crystals. Flying, ships moved silently in the sky. But Serena's face was serious. "Our worlds are connected, Ethan," she continued. "Long ago, our ancestors made a promise to protect each other from harm. But that promise has been broken by those who want to bring war." Ethan felt a chill. "So what does that have to do with me?" Serena looked at him kindly. "You are part of that promise. When you were a child, you were brought here to Earth to keep you safe. Your memories were hidden so you would not be found by those who want to hurt you." Ethan tried to remember, but his mind was blank. "I don't remember any of that." "That is normal," Serena said. "The memories will come back slowly when the time is right, but you have gifts inside you waiting to awaken." She reached into a small box and took out a thin bracelet made of silver light. "This will help you. It will connect you to your true self." Ethan took the bracelet carefully. The moment he touched it, he felt warmth spreading through his body. It was as if the bracelet was alive, and it was trying to tell him something. Serena smiled. "Wear it always. It will guide you." Ethan put the bracelet on his wrist, feeling both excited and scared. He had so many questions, but Serena was patient. "Tell me more about the danger," Ethan said. "Who wants to hurt you?" Serena's eyes darkened. "There are enemies from a distant star system. They want to take control of Lyria and Earth. They believe that by capturing me, they can destroy the promise and rule both worlds." Ethan felt a heavy weight on his shoulders. "Why me? Why do they want me too?" "Because you are connected To the power of the promise, Serena explained. You have the ability to help protect both worlds, but you need to learn how to use your power. Ethan looked down at the bracelet. How will I do that? I don't even know where to start. Serena walked over and placed her hand gently on his shoulder. I will teach you. Together we will unlock your abilities. For the next few hours, Serena shared stories of her world and their history. She told Ethan about the great battles fought long ago and the hope that still remained. Ethan listened carefully, feeling a new sense of purpose growing inside him. As the day passed, Ethan noticed that the bracelet glowed softly whenever Serena spoke. He realized it was more than a piece of jewelry. It was a key to something greater. When it was time to leave. Serena smiled once more. Rest tonight, Ethan. Tomorrow, your training begins. Outside the room, Ethan felt the weight of the new reality. His life was no longer ordinary. He was connected to something much bigger, and the choices he made would affect more than just himself. That night, Ethan lay in bed thinking about Serena and the strange world she came from. He still felt unsure, but also hopeful. Maybe he really was meant for something special. The next morning, when Ethan returned to the room, he found Serena waiting with a new plan. She said, "It is time to awaken your first gift." Ethan took a deep breath. He was ready to face whatever came next. The morning light streamed softly through the window as Ethan entered the room once again. Serena was waiting for him with a calm smile. Today was different. Ethan could feel it in the air, a quiet energy that made his heart beat faster. He was about to begin the training that would change his life. Serena walked toward a small table where strange objects were laid out. Some glowed softly, others hummed with power. She picked up a crystal sphere that shone like a star. "This is the first step," she said. "You have abilities inside you that are waiting to come alive. They will help you protect both our worlds." Ethan looked at her with a mix of hope and doubt. Abilities? Like what? Serena smiled gently. You will learn to sense things others cannot see, to understand feelings without words, and to move in ways you never imagined. Ethan's mind raced. It sounded like something from a story, but seeing Serena's serious face, he knew it was real. She held out the crystal sphere. "Touch this and focus your mind." Ethan reached out slowly, his fingers trembling. The moment he touched the crystal, a warm light spread from his hand through his body. Suddenly, his mind filled with images, colors, sounds, and feelings he had never known before. He gasped and pulled back for a moment. "What was that?" Serena nodded. "That was your first awakening. You are beginning to connect with your true self." Ethan closed his eyes and tried to calm his breathing. He wanted to understand more. "How do I control it? How do I make it happen again?" Serena stepped closer. "Practice. Focus on your feelings, on your thoughts. You must believe in yourself." For the rest of the day, Serena guided Ethan through simple exercises. She asked him to close his eyes and feel the energy in the room. At first, Ethan felt nothing, but slowly, he began to notice small things, a gentle warmth on his skin, a soft hum in the air, the way light moved around objects. With each exercise, Ethan felt stronger. He began to sense when Serena was nearby, even if he couldn't see her. It was like a quiet connection between them, something deep and special. As days passed, their bond grew closer. They spent time sharing stories and learning from each other. Ethan found himself trusting Serena more than anyone he had ever met. She was patient, kind, and wise beyond words. One afternoon, while they practiced, a sudden noise outside caught their attention. The door rattled as if someone was trying to open it. Ethan's heart jumped. Serena's face grew serious. "They are coming." Before Ethan could ask who, the door burst open and two strange figures entered. They were tall and strong, dressed in dark clothes that seemed to shimmer in the light. Their eyes glowed with a cold, hard light. "Serena," one of them said, "we have orders to bring you back." Ethan stepped forward, feeling a surge of courage. "Who are you? Why do you want her?" The strangers ignored him and moved toward Serena. Ethan felt the bracelet on his wrist grow warm, almost burning. Without thinking, Ethan raised his hand and focused on the warmth inside him. Suddenly, a bright light burst from his palm, pushing the strangers back. They stumbled but quickly recovered. Serena looked at Ethan with surprise and pride. "You did well. That was your power." Ethan's eyes widened. "I didn't know I could do that." Serena smiled. "There is much more to learn. But today, you showed great strength." The strangers left quickly, but Ethan knew this was only the beginning. The danger was real, and they would return. That night, Ethan lay awake, thinking about what had happened. He felt different, stronger, but also more aware of the risks ahead. Serena sat beside him and said softly, "You have a brave heart, Ethan. Together, we will face whatever comes." Ethan smiled for the first time in days. He knew he was not alone. With Serena by his side, he was ready to discover the true power inside him and protect the worlds he now cared about. Days passed since the strange visitors had come to the room. Ethan and Serena knew they couldn't stay hidden forever. The enemies who wanted to capture Serena were becoming more determined, and their danger was growing closer. Ethan felt a mix of fear and determination. He wanted to protect Serena and learn more about his powers, but the thought of facing real battles made his heart race. One morning, Serena came to Ethan with a serious look. "It is time," she said quietly. "The enemies will come again soon. We must be ready." Ethan nodded. He felt nervous, but he also knew he couldn't run away anymore. He wanted to stand by Serena's side, no matter what. They spent the day preparing. Serena showed Ethan how to use the bracelet better. It was not just a piece of jewelry, but a powerful tool that helped him focus his energy and control his new abilities. "Close your eyes and imagine a shield around you," Serena instructed. "Feel the energy flow from your bracelet and protect you." Ethan did as she said. At first, nothing happened, but then he felt a gentle warmth grow around him. It was like an invisible wall, strong but light. He smiled, feeling proud. As the sun set, a quiet alarm sounded from the building's security system. Ethan's heart jumped. Serena's eyes grew sharp. "They are here!" The door to the room suddenly opened. This time, many figures entered. They were tall, dark, and moved with dangerous speed. Ethan could see their glowing eyes and the weapons they carried. The leader stepped forward and said, "Serena, you must come with us." Serena shook her head firmly. "I will not go with you. This world is not yours to take." Ethan stepped in front of her, feeling a courage he never knew he had. "Leave now or face the consequences." The enemies laughed. "You are just a human. You cannot stop us." Ethan closed his eyes and focused on the bracelet. He felt the power growing inside him again. This time he raised both hands, and a bright light surrounded him and Serena. The enemies stopped, shielding their eyes. Suddenly the room filled with energy as Ethan's powers awakened more fully. He could see the enemies' movements before they made them. He moved quickly, using his new abilities to block and push them back. Serena joined the fight, moving gracefully and with great strength. Together they were a powerful team. The battle was intense, but short. The enemies realized they could not win today and retreated. Ethan and Serena stood together, breathing heavily but victorious. After the fight, Ethan looked at Serena. "I didn't know I could do that." Serena smiled warmly. "You are stronger than you think. You have the heart of a protector." Ethan felt proud, but also tired. He knew this was only the beginning. More challenges would come, and he had to be ready. Over the next days, Ethan trained harder. Serena taught him to control his powers better and to trust his instincts. Their bear. Friendship grew stronger, and Ethan felt less alone. One evening, as they rested, Serena told Ethan more about the prophecy. "You are the key to peace between our worlds. If we fail, both Earth and Lyria could face destruction." Ethan listened carefully. The responsibility was heavy, but he was ready to face it. "Together, we can protect everyone," Serena said. Holding his hand gently, Ethan smiled. "I won't let you down." They looked out the window at the stars, knowing their journey was far from over. But with courage, trust, and new strength, they were ready to face whatever came next. The days that followed were filled with both hope and danger. Ethan and Serena knew the enemies would not stop trying to capture the alien queen. The prophecy was real, and the future of both Earth and Lyria depended on their strength and courage. Ethan's training grew more intense, and he learned to control his powers better each day. One night, the quiet was broken by a sudden, loud noise outside the building. Ethan woke up instantly, his heart pounding. He saw shadows moving through the window and knew the enemy had returned, stronger and more prepared. Serena stood by his side, calm but ready. "This is it, Ethan. The final battle." They moved quickly to the room where they had first met. The energy between them was strong, and Ethan felt a new confidence inside himself. As the enemies entered, a fierce battle began. Ethan used everything he had learned. His hands glowed with light as he created shields and pushed back the attackers. Serena fought with grace and power, moving like a force of nature. Together, they were unstoppable. During the fight, Ethan remembered the memories the stone had shown him. The city in the stars, the promise between worlds, and the friends he had long forgotten. Those memories gave him strength. He realized that he was not just protecting Serena or himself, but something much bigger, hope for both worlds. The enemies fought hard, but Ethan and Serena were stronger. With a final burst of light from Ethan's hands, the enemies were defeated and forced to retreat. Silence returned to the room. Ethan and Serena stood together, breathing heavily but victorious. Serena smiled at Ethan. "You have done more than I ever imagined. You are truly the protector the prophecy spoke of." Ethan looked at her, feeling proud and happy. "I couldn't have done it without you." Serena took his hands gently. "This is only the beginning. Our worlds still need peace, but with you by my side, I believe we can make it happen." Ethan nodded. For the first time, he felt ready for the future. He understood that his life had changed forever, and that he was part of something much greater. As dawn broke, they looked out at the sky together. The stars seemed brighter, filled with promise and hope. Ethan whispered, "Wrong room. Maybe it was the right place all along." Serena smiled and squeezed his hand. "Yes, Ethan, the right place and the right time." And with that, their journey toward a new future began, one of friendship, courage, and the promise of peace between worlds.